A month later, they go like, oh, why am I getting fat? What do you think? Do you even know what fresh meat and vegetables taste like anymore? You will become the top 1%. Simple as that. And this thing is called Dopamine Detox. Okay guys, this is going to be a very serious video. And if you could only watch one video from our channel for the rest of your life, this one will be it. Because once you master this skill, your life changes forever. You will never see the world in the same way as before, and you will truly separate yourself from the rest of the population. I can confidently say that if you can do this thing consistently that I'm about to tell you, you will become the top 1%. Simple as that. And this thing is called Dopamine Detox. So, what is dopamine? Dopamine is a neurochemical that controls pleasure. And if you look around you, there are dopamine stimulating objects everywhere. In fact, you're looking at it now, whether it's your phone, computer, or iPad. You walk a few steps out of your room, there's probably some junk food. There's probably some snacks in the drawer waiting to be consumed. Even if you walked out of your house, there's probably a McDonald's somewhere in less than 5-minute drive from your house. Do you see a problem here? What I'm trying to say is that there are so much dopamine stimulating activities now in our world that it's literally becoming impossible for us to avoid it. And what do most people do? Well, they do what's easy for them, the most obvious decision. They see their phone, they go on TikTok and Instagram, they scroll for an hour or two because they don't even realize that their brain is no longer being controlled by them, but it's literally being controlled by the fucking algorithm. They see junk food. What do? They eat. They consume that sugary, oily junk and they put it through their digestive system. A month later, they go like, oh, why am I getting fat? What do you think? Do you even know what fresh meat and vegetables taste like anymore? I want you to imagine a teenager, right? The most typical teenager that goes to high school, not too wealthy, but wealthy enough to afford a phone and a laptop. He probably has an Instagram account, scrolls on TikTok, watches porn and plays video games, because that's just the norm nowadays. And what do you think happens to that teenager? He will enter adulthood and go down the most easy and obvious paths in life, which is to go to uni and get a 9-to-5, because they've never chosen sacrifice over comfort their entire life and will continue to do whatever the fuck they used to do while as a teenager, such as social media, video games, porn, etc. And that's just the norm nowadays. And that's just fucking pathetic. We are losing the ability to make our own decisions for ourselves because all we know is to chase this goddamn thing called dopamine and nothing else. We want pleasure over everything. Fuck goals, fuck ambitions, fuck financial and time freedom, fuck taking care of yourself and your family. Just let me scroll on TikTok and play another game of Call of Duty. Fuck. Guys, you've had enough dopamine in your life. And it's time to tell your brain to shut the fuck up and listen to you. It's time for a dopamine detox. So, how exactly do you do that? Well, first I want you to know that this will be a long, difficult process because it's not the first day that you've been on social media. It's not the first time you've watched porn. So why do you expect this to be a fast and easy process, right? But the most sustainable way that I've found for a dopamine detox is to construct a dopamine detox worksheet. And on that worksheet, you want to put down either one productive habit you want to achieve or one bad habit you want to eliminate every single week. So to better explain that, I'll show you my own personal dopamine detox sheet right here. So in week 1, I have meditate for 5 minutes every day. And what that means is that I want to strictly follow that routine for every single day of the week. And on week 2, I have no fap. And the same thing, I want to follow that for every single day of the week. Plus, I want to do whatever routine that I had the previous week, which was meditate for 5 minutes, right? The point here is that you're slowly increasing the difficulty of these tasks. So for me, meditating 5 minutes every day is relatively easy, but cutting off YouTube completely is very difficult. So I want to stack up to that stage by building up the little wins. This is known as progressive overload. So by the end of the 10th week, for example, you would have developed a lot of the good habits on your list and have gotten rid of a lot of the bad ones, because usually a habit stays after 21 days and after that it just becomes a normal lifestyle. The way you should decide on these activities is really up to you. Find the habits that you want to develop and find the habits you want to get rid of, because you should already know which habits are good for you and which ones are not. So what happens if, say, you missed out on one day of the week? Is that end of the world? Does that mean you have to start all over again? No. The phrase I always like to use is that it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to fail again. If you fail a task once, that's okay. And you can still proceed with this table if you can keep up with the activity for the rest of the week. But if you missed out on 2 days in a row, then you will not be able to move forward and you have to stay on that task until you're able to do it for a whole week. So the point of this whole worksheet is that you're able to start off small, just making small wins and actually developing some good habits before tackling the more difficult ones. You cannot expect yourself to get rid of all your bad habits in one day, because that's simply not possible and the after effects will be even worse. So using this worksheet, you'll be able to slowly develop and maintain a healthy dopamine detox that is achievable and sustainable. And once you're able to do everything on your worksheet, you should be able to feel so alive, so motivated to conquer your goals and actually make decisions for yourself instead of listening to your lizard brain. So with that being said, the actionable step of this video is to create your own dopamine detox sheet and start on it now. I want you to start your dopamine detox journey as soon as possible, because the sooner you start, the sooner you can start making progress and the sooner you can get what you really want in life. And remember, the choice is in your hands and I believe in you, so don't let me down.